10 hard truths everyone on their fitness journey needs to hear. Hi everyone, my name is Tony and this is Sinnskraft, a men's personal development channel where we talk about fitness, mindset, relationships, and lifestyle. I've been a personal training coach for 3+ years so far, working with guys on all different kinds of fitness goals, such as muscle gain, weight loss, and mindset improvement. And I've been on my own fitness journey for 7+ years now. And let me tell you, I've made a lot of mistakes on my fitness journey, mistakes that led to issues with my body image and my mindset. And I learned everything that I know through trial and error. I never had a coach, and this is one of my big regrets now. I wish I had a good one back in the day that could teach me the ways from the very start. But the reason why I made this video is because I want to tell you about the mistakes that I've made so you don't have to make them yourself on your fitness journeys. And the sooner you accept the 10 hard truths that I'm going to tell you right now, the sooner you can step on a fitness journey path that is going to be sustainable for a long term and is going to lead you to those results that you're looking for. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. Hard truth number 1. Progress is not linear. A lot of us guys go to the gym with this expectation that every single time we go, we're going to make progress. We're going to improve on the amount of weight that we can lift on a particular exercise. We're going to be gaining weight every single week or losing weight every single week. But unfortunately, it doesn't always work like that. Even if you have the most perfect knowledge out there in the world and the most amazing, most expensive coach who tells you exactly what to do, sometimes you're just not going to be able to make progress. It's as simple as that. There's many variables that could potentially affect how much progress you're making. Maybe that particular day you didn't sleep super good. Maybe your diet was not exactly precise, or your macronutrient composition was not adequate for your body. Maybe you were sick and your body was fighting off of a particular disease and you just didn't have the symptoms that you knew that you were sick, but it actually slowed down your progress without you being able to know. So all of these different factors can affect how much progress you're making. And a lot of people, when they see that the scale numbers are not increasing or they're not dropping, or the amount of weight they can lift at the gym is not improving, they get highly discouraged. And this is why so many New Year's resolutions fail, because people simply don't stick to it long enough. Everybody expects their results to continuously go up like this, but sometimes you will see on your fitness journey that you have plateaued temporarily before you can go back up, or sometimes you can even go backwards before going back up again. So you just have to understand that these things will happen, these hurdles will happen, these challenges will happen on your fitness journey, and you have to be able to mentally persevere, continue doing those right things until progress actually starts happening again. If you notice that you're not progressing over a longer period of time now, and we're talking about multiple weeks or months, at that point you potentially have to make some changes to your plan. And we're going to talk about this in a later hard truth of this video, but at that point it's going to become a matter of adaptability. But the point I'm trying to make here is that people that win in their fitness journey are those who are capable of sticking to it longer term. Hard truth number 2 is that recovery is even more important than exercise. For some reason, there is this common myth that guys have, is that the more they work out, the more gains they're going to make. The more sets they do at the gym, the more gains they're going to make. The more exercises they perform every single time they're at the gym, the more gains they're going to make. But that could not be further from the truth. What actually matters is not how much you exercise, but the quality of the exercise that you perform, and also the amount of recovery you give your muscles before you exercise on that particular muscle again. So oftentimes I like to say that less is actually going to be better. 2 or even 1 set of a particular exercise is going to be better than 4 sets or 5 sets and you spending 3 hours at the gym for absolutely no reason and just getting your muscles to the point of overtraining, which is long-term going to actually hurt you more. There is a popular saying that you need to put in 10,000 hours into a particular skill if you want to master it. This was popularized by Malcolm Gladwell in his book Outliers. And it basically says that, hey, you need to work super hard, work your butt off if you want to achieve a particular result and get really good at it. And that is true. However, those 10,000 hours also need to be accompanied by 12,500 hours of rest and 30,000 hours of sleep to get you anywhere. You can't just only work. You also have to rest, because this is not how humans are made, right? We need recovery time. And only putting the spotlight on the work is going to burn you out and will put you in a position of overtraining, and you won't just make no results. You will actually hurt yourself in the long term. So prioritize your recovery, sleep good, create a good sleep schedule, make sure you rest enough in between your sets, make sure you set up your split in a way where each of the muscle groups you're training actually gets enough time to recover between the time you exercise and the next time you hit that muscle, whether as a primary muscle or a secondary muscle. Hard truth number 3, knowledge matters a lot. There is so much misinformation out there when it comes to fitness, coming from the influencers who are just giving you those workouts that they don't necessarily do themselves, and they say, hey, do this movement which looks interesting and looks cool, and you're going to achieve results. But the movement itself doesn't really do anything, and it's not optimal in any way for you. The point I'm trying to make is that it's extremely important to get the right kind of knowledge from the right kinds of people or the right kinds of resources. If you are going to be going to the gym consistently, and everybody constantly talks about how consistency is the number one variable in fitness, yeah, sure, consistency is important, but if you are consistently applying the wrong kind of knowledge and doing the wrong things, you're not going to go anywhere. You're going to be doing it for 1 month or 1 year, and you will look exactly the same, if not worse than what you looked before, potentially overtrained, and potentially maybe even in a worse mental state. So the point I'm trying to make here is invest in your knowledge. Read the right kinds of books from credible authors, credible sources. Watch videos from creators who have credibility. Maybe read scientific research papers to understand what kinds of effects certain exercises or certain nutrition habits are going to have on your body, what supplements are going to affect you in what kind of way. Don't just listen to everybody out there, and really invest into understanding who you are working with. And the same thing also applies to a coach. If you're hiring a coach, how much credibility does this coach have? Has this coach worked with other people who have achieved results that you are also looking for? How much is the coach trying to explain to you what exactly goes into your program, as opposed to just blindly giving you the plan and telling you stick to this plan and do nothing else? All of those things are going to really matter. And this kind of knowledge is exactly what I teach in my online course, the Sinnskraft Academy. You can check it out by going to sinnskraft.com to get more information. I will also put a link in the description of this video. Hard truth number 4 is that mindset has to come first. A lot of us start going to the gym because we want to make it easier on ourselves to get through a particular traumatic event in our life. Potentially our girlfriend broke up with us and we got out of this relationship, or maybe something else happened in our life, like we're trying to battle insecurity or something. And that's why we go to the gym, we start lifting weights, and the weights help us temporarily relieve that psychological pain that we are going through. But what you have to understand, and this is also something that I learned myself, is that if you use the gym in this way, it becomes nothing different than alcohol or drugs. It's just a coping mechanism, but it's not going to do anything to help you fix the problem that you're currently experiencing. Yes, you will potentially be going towards your results on your fitness journey, but the issue is that, are these results going to truly make you happy if you are doing it out of place of unhappiness? Unfortunately, they will not. What I learned is that it's a lot better to figure out your crap first, all your traumas, your issues, whatever else you're going through in life with your mindset, before fully investing into a fitness journey and starting to work towards your goals and your results. Maybe this is going to take some therapy, some journaling, some gratitude practicing, whatever technique you want to use to get yourself out of that bad state where you're feeling insecure and you're feeling like there's certain unresolved issues in your life. But once you get through them and you start applying fitness after that, trust me, it's going to be so much more motivating to you, for you to work on your body and to make those improvements. And fitness is going to become one of the best amplifiers of your life. Don't do fitness out of a place of pain. Do it out of a place of happiness, and it's going to make a massive change. Hard truth number 5 is that in fitness, there are no shortcuts. A lot of us go on social media and we see those juice cleanses and fat diets and ab stimulators and coaches who are trying to sell their programs that are going to get you your dream body in only 3 months. And these things are really attractive to us, for sure. But unfortunately, in fitness, there is no such thing as quick results. You have to work hard, and the only thing that will get you to where you want to be is the core 4. The first is the knowledge, which we already talked about. The second is the consistency of application of that knowledge. The third is your mental commitment that you're not going to quit. And the fourth, the most important one, is time. Metabolic changes, when you're gaining weight or when you're losing weight, they take time. And as we already talked about in the first hard truth, that progress is not linear. To get to where you want to be, you need to stick to it in the long term. Quick fixes, quick results are just marketing schemes. Please don't waste your money. Please don't waste your time on them. The best time to start was actually yesterday. The second best time to start is today. And the biggest killer of any fitness progress is telling yourself that I'm going to start on Monday. Hard truth number 6, individual results are going to vary. If you take 2 people and you give them the same exact exercise program and the same exact nutrition plan, and it might be a really good plan for both the nutrition and the exercise, but if you have them perform the same exact plan for, let's say, 3 months, you potentially could see completely different results between both of these individuals. And the reason for that is that everybody has different genetics. Everybody has a different anatomical structure. Everybody puts on muscle and burns fat at different rates depending on their metabolism. It's a highly individualistic thing. So no program is going to be perfect for a particular person. It's something that you need to tweak. It's something you need to experiment with. And it's something you need to find for yourself what works best for you. And comparing yourself to other individuals, potentially individuals who have already achieved bigger and greater results in fitness because they've just been doing it for a longer time or they just have better genetics, is pointless. It's not going to get you anywhere except a worse mental state. Comparing one human and his results in fitness to another human is like comparing an apple to a peach. They're completely different types of fruit. There is absolutely no point in doing that. A much better approach is to compare yourself to yourself, but in the past. But don't compare yourself to yourself in the past yesterday or yourself in the past a week ago, because don't forget that progress is non-linear and there is going to be those short periods of time when you are not making progress or potentially stepping back before you can continue stepping forward. Compare yourself to yourself in the past a year ago, or maybe 2 years ago, or maybe before some kind of bad event that happened to you. So for example, in my case, I got diagnosed with type 1 diabetes in 2019 and I could not work out for months before I figured out my health. So I compare myself now to how I was during my diagnosis, and I'm thinking, wow, I made amazing progress, right? I was able to step back on that path and start working on my fitness and actually achieving the results that I was looking for my whole life, right? So the point I'm trying to make here is get out of that comparison mindset, and everybody's results are going to be different depending on many different factors. Hard truth number 7 is that you cannot slack on your diet. A lot of guys go to the gym 5, 6, 7 times a week and they add cardio classes on top of that. But then they come home and they start eating a bunch of processed crap with seed oils and a large pizza every single night, and they wonder why they're not making any progress towards their fitness goals. What you have to understand is that diet is going to be extremely important for any goal that you are trying to achieve. 90% of the results you get is going to come from your diet. Guys who are trying to bulk up often complain that they can't gain weight even though they're eating all the food in the world, stuffing their face. But the truth is that they're simply not eating enough. They have to eat more. And the reason why they don't know how much they're eating is because they're not tracking. You have to properly identify how much food you should be consuming calorically and based on your macronutrients for your individual body type. your weight, height, and age, and you have to track the foods that you're consuming. You also have to know exactly what kinds of foods you're consuming. You can't just be stuffing your face with processed crap. You have to be eating whole foods full of micronutrients, which are going to optimize your hormonal balance. They're just basically going to make your body work a lot better, and you're going to feel a lot healthier. Your joints are going to be healthier. Your bones are going to be healthier. You're going to be less prone to injuries and all things like that. So when it comes to a long, sustainable fitness journey, you cannot slack on your diet. Hard truth number 8 is that you also have to be able to cut yourself some slack. Even though it's extremely important to stick to a good plan for you to be able to achieve results in fitness, you also cannot just stick to them 100% of the time. What I learned in my fitness journey is that even though I was super strict with my plan and I was following it to a T for many months sometimes, it was very hard for me to deviate from that at any point when I needed to. So for example, if my friends were to ask me to go get some dinner with them, I would go, and I would be so worried that I don't know exactly what the calories and the macros are in this food that I'm ordering at the restaurant. And all this food is going to slow down my fitness progress, and I won't be able to progress towards my goals. And it was putting me in this really bad mental state where I was not exactly sure how I'm going to deal with this. And these things are going to happen to you. You have to understand that life is not only about bodybuilding, and most of you guys are never going to be stepping on stage. So there absolutely is no point for you to 100% of the time stick to your diet and stick to your exercise. Allow yourselves some joys of life. Allow yourself that dinner at your grandma's house, or that hangout session with your friends, or that late night ice cream you're craving once in a while. What I like to do is to stick to an 80-20 rule, where 80% of the time I'm following my plan, whether it's my diet plan or my exercise plan, and 20% of the time I just do what I want. I cut myself some slack. Maybe I'll change certain exercises up at the gym for that particular day to make it a little bit more fun for myself. Maybe I'm going to get that cookie that I'm really, really craving. But the point is, you just have to be flexible. It's also going to help you long term to keep your fitness journey more sustainable, because if you're only 100% of the time trying to stay disciplined and doing the things that you're not enjoying, eventually you're going to break, and it's going to be very hard for you to revert back, put yourself back on that path of making progress towards your fitness. Allow yourself some flexibility so you can stick to it for longer. Hard truth number 9 is that you have to learn how to adapt. A lot of people are going to find a good plan, and they're going to start executing on this plan and seeing some results. But eventually, after, let's say, 1, 2, or 3 months, they're going to plateau. And this same plan is not going to give them any more results they're looking for. What you have to understand is that in those situations, you need to learn how to adapt. You need to change your plan. If you're following a particular exercise split, you need to change your split, or you need to change the exercises in your split. You need to potentially try experimenting with certain techniques like supersets or drop sets or myo reps to see if maybe your muscles are just looking for a different kind of stimulus. And those adaptations are going to potentially break through your plateau and allow you to continue making progress. Same thing happens to your diet. If you're eating and you notice that even though you're following a caloric deficit because you're trying to lose weight and your progress slows down, you might need to change the macronutrient composition of your food. So maybe if you were eating 30% protein, 40% carbs, and 30% fats, now you can increase your carbs and decrease your fats to, let's say, 60% carbs and 10% fats, and see if that is going to make a difference. Some people react differently to different macronutrients. So the point I'm trying to make is that you have to be able to adapt. When you get an injury, and trust me, if you're lifting consistently, injuries are going to happen. You also have to adapt. Can you still go to the gym and make other kinds of progress, maybe on other parts of your body that are not injured? Maybe if you have a shoulder injury, you could go and train your legs and see if you can make more progress in that direction. Or maybe if you have a particular knee injury, you can go and make more progress on your upper body. And instead of just completely cutting out all the exercise out of your life before your injury heals. Adaptation is going to be crucial for you to break through those plateaus and those times when your progress could potentially be slowed down. And lastly, hard truth number 10 is that longevity is key. LeBron James is the #1 all-time scorer in the NBA for one simple reason, because he focuses on longevity. He doesn't just want to impress everybody by doing a bunch of crazy dunks every single game. He prioritizes his sleep. He prioritizes his recovery, cold plunges, stretching, mobility, warm-up, all of those things. And the same applies to your fitness journey. The more you prioritize your longevity, the more is the chance that you're going to turn fitness into a lifestyle, which is going to continue making you happy for many, many years to come. For that reason, focus on injury prevention. Potentially, instead of ego lifting and trying to do the weights that you are simply not ready to do, drop the weight and perform it with better form. Or maybe try exercise variations that are going to be more stable, such as machines, which have a smaller risk of injury as opposed to free weights. Or maybe work on your mobility, work on your stretching, work on your recovery. Don't go to the gym if your muscles are still sore. Allow them adequate rest. Also, don't forget about doing your blood work at least once a year to discover potential issues that could later manifest themselves in a negative way. Do this, and fitness is only going to turn you into a stronger, better, more resilient, and happier version of you. I really hope you found this video valuable. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you.